And here we have we've been responding to customer enhancement requests, we've been improving the user interface, and really over the last year we've done quite a bit in the regulatory environment. IFRS and the GDPR new requirements have driven a lot of development to help you comply with all those new regulatory environments. So let's just cover some of that. We've delivered 12.2.8, but then separately from 12.2.8, we've delivered some additional capabilities, and the ones that are regulatory based, we made sure apply also to 12.1. So we've got 12.1 versions of the IFRS compliance and the GDPR tool. So not everything we did actually came in 12.2.8. There's some other things you might go looking for that would be helpful for you. So I'll cover all of that. In terms of user interface advance, we have a new idea called command centers that I'll show you in a second. In addition to that, that's only in 12.2, and also in 12.2 is a whole additional set of HTML user interfaces. Okay, and for 12.1 and 12.2, we have a whole set of smartphone apps. Okay, so that's kind of how to think about user interface adoption. Let me motivate this idea of command centers. The idea here is that we are going to give you so far in 6 applications, but pretty soon in many, many applications, we'll give you a new, essentially, front end of the application that's BI oriented. It's basically we support what we call information-driven navigation. So you're going to have a picture, you're going to have a dashboard that starts with key indicators and charts and graphs. You can select any of those to filter on a particular data context. You have consumer-like search and filter, so you can say, I want a particular attribute and select that. Once you've selected any of those attributes, the whole system recomputes everything and repaints the whole screen in the data context you've set. So you iteratively drill for information. We call it having a conversation with your data, because you ask a question, you get an answer that motivates a new question. And at any point, you can drill to a set of transactions with any business suite. So let me explain this in a simple case like receivables, where everybody can relate to this. This is like you're collecting money. So what we give you is, in the receivables command center, is a set of key indicators, your outstanding receivables balances, your past due balances, and here's kind of an aging report. So let's say I want to call, what customer should I call to try to collect? Well, you could call the customer with the biggest receivables balance, but maybe that customer's receivables balance is only a few days overdue, and you really don't want to call them. The one you really want to call is somebody that's 90 days late. So who is it that is really making up most of that 90 days late balance? Well, let's click right here. The biggest operating unit with the biggest 90-day balance. As soon as I click on that, the whole thing recomputes to that scope. Now I'm looking just at that operating unit and just that aging bucket, and within that aging bucket, a different customer than appeared earlier is now the leading one that makes up most of that bucket. So until now, I didn't even know that that's the customer I should be focused on, but now I do. So I click on that customer, and I see for that particular customer, there's their outstanding balance, there's the invoices, the past due balance, and here's a list of all the invoices that made up that balance. So I can click on the top invoice there, which is the biggest one that makes up that balance, and there's the invoice. So with 3 clicks, I got from my overall receivables picture to drilling and finding the invoice that made up the biggest part of the biggest past due balance bucket that I care about. And I didn't even know when I started.